You're welcome to today's biology class. In this video, let's talk biology. We're asked to find or to discuss the concept, the functions of cell structure. Before we talk about the cell structure, you need to know that there are two major groups of cells or type of cells. Now, the group or the domain of cell, let me use the domain. We have the eukaryotic and the prokaryotic. Well, we also have the archaea. Okay? We have eukaryotic, prokaryotic, and archaea. Now, the eukaryotic organisms are organisms that have true nucleus, alright? And they have double-bonded membranous organelle, alright? Now, these eukaryotic organisms are the Protista, the fungi, the plantae, the animalia. Why the prokaryotic organisms, which are organisms that lack true nucleus. Prokaryotic are organisms that lack true nucleus. These are majorly the Monera. Okay, the Monera. Now, meanwhile, if you come to the archaea, the organisms there share the features of eukaryotic and prokaryotic conditionally. Alright? Now, if you look at the prokaryotic, which is definitely the Monera, and a good example of them is the bacteria. Bacteria plural, bacterium singular. Now, for the bacteria, if you look at the bacterial cell, something like this. I'm not that artistic. These bacterial cells have some material, and those material that is inside the cytoplasm. The material that is inside the cytoplasm is known as nucleoid. These nucleoid are also called chromosomal materials. Now, this means that the prokaryotic doesn't have true nucleus. If you say that prokaryotic don't have nucleus, you are not totally correct. You are not completely correct. The right word to use is that prokaryotic organisms lacks true nucleus. That is, they have false nucleus, which is called the nucleoid. Alright? Now, and then the other part of it. But if you come to eukaryotic, let's use a typical animal cell. In a typical animal cell, the first thing to notice when you view a cell through a microscope is the nucleus. You'll find out that an animal cell has nucleus. In fact, has the nucleus of the nucleus known as nucleus. Then have the chromatide 5. Okay? Now, this compartment of the cell, the animal cell, a typical animal cell, okay, has a true nucleus in it. If you go to a typical plant cell, for instance, a typical plant cell has a controtype vocule and has a true nucleus. You see? Nucleus. Over there, chromatide 5. Now, you notice that the eukaryotic has true nucleus, a visible nucleus. You can see it there. You can also see it there. This is a plant cell. There's a plant, there's an animal. But for the prokaryotic organisms, which are majorly bacteria, this is a bacterial cell, you notice that the nucleoid, the genetic material or chromosomal material is embedded in the cytoplasm, scattered in the cytoplasm. That is why we can say that they lack true nucleus. There's a question in one of the UTME questions that says the kingdom Monera, the chromosomal material of the kingdom Monera is found in A. The chromosomal material of the kingdom Monera is found in A, protoplasm, B, cytoplasm, D, nucleus, E, whatever, nucleus. Now, the answer is the chromosomal material of the Monera is found in the cytoplasm. You can see there that is found in the cytoplasm. This is one of the UTME questions, but I can't remember the year. Alright? Now we're looking at the structure. Now, basically, why go through this route is for you to know that prokaryotic organisms lack true nucleus. Eukaryotic organisms has true nucleus. The chromosomal material for eukaryotic organisms are the nucleus, while the chromosomal material for prokaryotic organisms are the nucleoid. Okay? Now, another one is that the eukaryotic organisms have double membranous organelle. Like the mitochondrion, the endoplasmic reticulums, all those things are double membranous organelle, and they only belong to the eukaryotic, if you are writing. Then the prokaryotic, they didn't get any double membranous organelle. They don't have any double membranous organelle. So after taking note of that, we move to the next thing. So the next thing is to draw. Let's draw a typical animal cell, and then we also draw a typical plant cell. Let's see this will help us. This is a typical plant cell. We have different structures. Anyway, animal cells, sorry. So the first thing to note is the nucleus. And after the nucleus, we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay? After the rough endoplasmic reticulum, we have the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. After that, we can have the mitochondrion somewhere here. After that, we can have the cytoplasm. Remember, we have centrioles. Okay, now let's label the one we have. So we can have maybe over here. Okay, now we can have some chromotype 5. Now over here, the first thing to label is the nucleus. Another one inside the nucleus is the nucleus. Now, there was a question they asked in one of the exam questions, and they drew something like this, and they drew something like this, and then they made something like this, and then like this, and then they said, this is I, this is I, this is I, and then they said, this is IV. They said the part labeled I is called, the part labeled I is called what? The answer is nucleus. Okay, nucleus. Are you seeing that now? Now, anyhow the question comes, be able to answer. Another thing is that the nucleus must be noted. Note the place that it is. Okay? Hope you're seeing that. Right? So let's go back to the labeling. So after that, we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is known as the RER. So we have the mitochondrion, we have the vacuole, okay, we have the centrioles, which perform so many functions as able for cell division. Then we can have the cell membrane. Then we can have the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which is known as SER. Then we can call this the inside here. Okay, inside here we can call this place ribosome. The ribosomes will be here. The ribosomes is found on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we have ribosomes. Okay, now we can also have the protoplasm, cytoplasm. Cytoplasm first. Then within, surrounding like this. Then we have the protoplasm. So this is the typical structure of an animal cell. Alright? Now what we need to do is we need to know the function and how to answer questions with this structure. Now we need to know the function of each of them. Let's pick up the nucleus. The nucleus, the function is it is the center of life. Okay? The nucleus also contains the genetic material. The chromosomes. The nucleus, which carries the chromosomes carries the gene. The gene is the DNA. The arrangement is as follows, because the nucleus is the center of life. The nucleus is the place that the hereditary material is being found. So this is nucleus. Nucleus has chromosomes. And then chromosome has gene. And then gene has the DNA. And the RNA. Okay? Now, that means that the nucleus is the center of life. It controls, it carries genetic or hereditary material and also controls different aspects of the cell. Now, we need to know the centrioles. We're talking about nucleus, so let's map that out. The centrioles perform so many functions also, and also for the production or the manufacturing of other organelles. Remember, that comes to mind. Remember that component of the cell is not the same as organelle of the cell. So, component of the cell, that just came to my mind now. Component and organelle is not the same thing. Component of cell, organelles of cell is not the same thing. Alright? Now, the component of the cell is the nucleus. Protoplasm, cytoplasm, and the cell membrane. While the organelles are the endoplasmic reticulum, the lysosome. Do we put that there? Let's look at this. Lysosome. The ribosome. And then the rest over there. Now, but notice that the component is nucleus, protoplasm, cytoplasm, and cell membrane. Now, don't confuse the nucleus, don't confuse the organelles with the component. The organelles is not the component is not the organelle. But the component can be the organelle because component contains nucleus, protoplasm, cytoplasm, cell membrane, and other cell organelles. So don't differentiate the two. Alright? So let's come back to what we are saying. Centrioles for cell division and production and manufacturing of other organelles. Now we talk about the rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Where is that now? Yeah, over here. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now the difference between them is that the rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes and stores protein, because there is the presence of ribosomes in front of it, and the main function of ribosomes is to produce or synthesize protein. And the rough endoplasmic reticulum helps to synthesize and stores protein, and also for transport of material within the cell. While the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, its function majorly in detoxification, removal of harmful substances, maybe harmful substances that you are taking in. The function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is for detoxification and for secretion or synthesize of lipids. Well, I want to ask you a question about lipids. You can answer us the question in the comment section. Just answer this question. You are in an exam class anyway. So for lipids is stored in animal as starch. Lysosomes. Don't forget lysosomes. Then lipids is stored in plants as starch. Okay, give us the answer. Well, let me answer this one. Sugar is stored in plants as starch. Okay, find the one for lipids. Then sugar is stored in animal as glycogen. So this is an exam question. There was an exam question in one of the UTME class. In one of the UTME exam, it says rat. You know rat? Have you seen rat? Okay, rat. Rat. Is it an animal or a plant? Rat is an animal. They asked the question: a rat stores sugar as starch, glucose, glycogen, whatever. The answer here is glycogen. We should take note of that. Let's come back to what we have before we deviate it. Alright? So what we have there, over there is another one we have. Volcal is for osmoregulation. Mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell and also used for respiration. Lysosome is for respiration. Cytoplasm, protoplasm, what's the difference between the two? Protoplasm contains the cytoplasm and other cell organelles and components. Now, protoplasm contains the cytoplasm and other cell components. Okay? Now, including the nucleus is in the protoplasm. Do you notice that the nucleus has nucleoplasm? Yes, the nucleus has nucleoplasm. So you see that the protoplasm is the living component of the cell, cytoplasm is the living component of the cell, but the cytoplasm is found inside the protoplasm and other organelles also in it. Now let's go to the plant cell. A typical plant cell is like this. I'll give you a question when I'm through. I will try to solve some of those JAM past questions or UTME past questions, sorry. Then, remember, this should be the large contractile vacuole. The large contractile vacuole. This should be. Let's draw it up. This should be the nucleus. This should be the nucleus. This should be the chromatin 5. Then over here, it can be anywhere actually. The endoplasmic reticulum. This is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Let's say over here is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Here is the micropinocytic vesicle. Okay, so also we will have here, or let's put somewhere around here. Here is the mitochondrion. Okay, let's say we have here too as the ribosomes. Okay, now there's something I'm missing out here. So somewhere around here as the chloroplast. Because chloroplast contains the greener. Inside the chloroplast, the greener is inside the chloroplast. Okay? The chloroplast contains chlorophyll 2 and the greener is inside it as well. Alright? Remember that the plant cell has cell walls. In fact, it has primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. And then secondary cell wall. Alright? Now, this is all of that, but we still have more. Let's find where there's something, because there's a similarity between the plant cell and the animal cell. Let me give it to you so that you can know how to transfer some of the things we have not put here into that plant cell. Now, for the plant cell, the only difference between plant and animal cell is that the plant cell has cell walls. Okay? It has cell wall. Plant cell have chloroplasts, which contain chlorophyll too. If an animal cell have chloroplast, it means if you should eat rice, any day you eat rice, that rice will grow in your head. Yeah? Just imagine you eat rice and you have chloroplast in your cells. Rice will, you understand what I'm saying? Okay? So the difference of cell wall, the presence of chloroplast, similarity is the every other organism and component that is found in them. So what we want to do now is to see, because some of these functions, chloroplast contains chlorophyll 2, which contains greener. It is for photosynthesis, manufacturing of plant food. Alright? We have the micropinosynthesis, micropinocytic vesicle. It controls the amount of some fluid entering and leaving the cell. Of course, we have told you the function of ribosomes, we have told you the function of smooth endoplasmic the function of the cell wall is to give the cell its shape and to protect the cell. The function of contractile vocal loop is to remove excess water by osmoregulation. And let's see some questions on JAM, on UTN, the following. I'm going to ask you and then you answer from all we have discussed. Okay, in the cell, the gene is carried by, A, nuclear membrane, B, chromatide thread, C, lysosome, D, mitochondrion. I'm waiting for you. The answer is chromatide thread. You know, I told you that the nucleus is the center of the cell that carries genetic material, and I give you nucleus after nucleus, chromosome after chromosome, gene after gene, DNA. So the chromatide thread that carries genetic material. Let's see the answer number 35. Number 35 is B. Alright, now let's see another question, and this is from 2009, number 3 question. Alright, look at this question, 2015, number 5, UTME question. The chromosome of the member of the kingdom Monera are within, that was the question I asked first. The chromosome of the kingdom, chromosome material of the kingdom Monera are within the cytoplasm. If you remember, I draw a bacteria and I showed you where it is. Alright? We have another question. Let me clean up the board for that. Anyway, anyhow, let's clean up the board for that. The question, okay, I'll picture it like this. No, sorry, it's a plant cell. Oh, let me just draw the diagram they have there. Alright, I just want to repeat exactly what they have in that diagram. Alright? Yeah, this is what they have. And then they have a cycle, and then they have this, and then what they have again, and then they have over here, and then they have over here. What they have again, okay, they have here. Is that all? Yeah. So they say this one is I. Which one again? They say this one is II. Okay, which one again? They say this one is over here. They say it is III. And they say this one is IV. Okay? I think that's all. That's all. They now ask you a question. The organelle responsible for hereditary is labeled what? The organelle responsible for hereditary is labeled, of course, it is III. Check it there. 38. 38 is B, which is III. This question is gotten from 2012, number 2. Alright? So we move to the next one. They say we should use it to answer question number 38 and 39. So we go to the next one. This is the 50 past question anyway. We go to the next one. The part labeled IV is mitochondrion. The part labeled IV, okay? What is IV? Yeah, over there. IV is mitochondrion. Is that so? No, that's not mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is something like this. Okay? Whenever you see a double membrane, something like this, in that structure, it is mitochondrion. So that's not mitochondrion. Cell wall, of course, it's not cell wall. Endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, of course, it is smooth, not just endoplasmic reticulum, but smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So I don't know. Pick up the past question and answer as much as possible. At the end of this class, you should be able to answer quite a lot of questions on cell component, the function of cell component. And this is the last one before we call it a day. Now, we have in this place, okay. Now, the function of endoplasmic reticulum is A, protein synthesis. B, does endoplasmic reticulum synthesize protein? No, it is ribosomes that does that. Okay. B, intracellular transport of material. I think that's the answer. We don't need to work again. That's the answer. Let's check. Number 10, and the answer is B. Is intracellular transport of material. That reminds me, there is something called Golgi body. Let's put it somewhere here. Let's say we have the Golgi body. It's also in plant cell, though we have deleted that. Golgi bodies, or Golgi apparatus. Now, the endoplasmic reticulum is for transport of material. Golgi apparatus is for packaging of material in the cell and also helps in transporting in the cell. Now, this is all we've done for you in this video. We want to ask your questions, or you want a video on any other topic on biology, drop it in the comment section. We'll attend to you in no distant time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.